Good again. The Lakers from 3 are 12 of 18.
The Lakers are now only 3 wins away from that ring. LeBron, AD, and the purple and gold take Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers Postgame Show.
Always get your to-go with the new $10 Tastemaker from Pizza Hut. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10. Choose contactless delivery or curbside pickup at pizzahut.com.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
Bye-bye Nuggets. Mission number 17 takes one step closer to the ring. It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, 3 more to go for the Los Angeles Lakers. 116-98 over the Miami Heat. Game 1 of the NBA Finals is in the books. And how good do you feel right now if you're a Los Angeles Laker fan? Now, enjoy it tonight. I love how LeBron James and Anthony Davis both have already talked about in their walk-off interviews after the Lakers win. Let's not get too excited. Okay, that was just game 1. There's areas that we can improve on. One of the things I take away from a game like this is the Lakers look hungry. Lakers look like they're desperate. And this is a team that is, of course, they're more talented than the Miami Heat. You got the 2 stars that we've been talking about. You got veterans. You got role players. Sometimes maybe you take your foot off the gas a little bit. After that stretch to start the game where Lakers were down 23-10, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure Laker fans were wondering what the heck was going on there. Lakers dominated this game. And to come out in game 1, to send that kind of a message and still kind of have this mentality of, okay, well, it's just one game. They're right, it is. But that's the type of thing that you want to see from a lot of your star players, your veterans. Later as the postgame show progresses, we'll get a chance to hear from head coach Frank Vogel. And it's that mentality with the combination of the Lakers' skill set and obviously all these players that they have, but it's the mentality. It seems like they're still hungry is what I get most excited about. As always, as we do in the postgame show here, the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show, we want to hear from Laker fans. Game 1 in the books, 116-98 the final score. Lakers handle the Miami Heat. Game 2 coming up on Friday, of course. We're going to continue to emphasize how important each one of these games are, but at least for tonight, we could kick back and we could enjoy what the Lakers did. Phone number, 877-710-ESPN, if you want to be a part of the postgame show. A couple things that I want to get into real quick. Let me go away from the Lakers stars for a quick second here. I thought Dwight Howard was fantastic tonight. Dwight didn't play a big amount of minutes. 8 rebounds, only 2 points. So if somebody didn't get a chance to watch the game and they didn't get a chance to listen to the game, they'd be like, Alan, what are you talking about? What do you mean Dwight had a good game? Look at his stat line. Dwight was great for the Lakers. His energy always seemed like he was around the ball on the defensive side, always seemed like he was altering some shots, made it difficult for the Miami Heat to do all that much damage down low after the first quarter, you can say. After the first quarter, it was 31-28, and then Lakers ended up going up by 32. KCP, I thought his 13 points, his 2 steals, critical shots for the Lakers. He did it in 30 minutes. Even Anthony Davis, actually, in his post-game interview said that he thought that was one of the biggest moments of the game. Lakers were down 13, and KCP hit 2 threes in a row, and it kind of calmed the Lakers down, and then they took over from there. How about Danny Green? Hit 3 3-pointers, went 4-9 from the field, had 11 points, was a plus 21 in the plus-minus. Rajon Rondo, another 4 assists for Rondo, along with 3 rebounds and 7 points. And Alex Caruso, I thought, had some great numbers, great minutes for the Lakers, and great numbers for the Lakers with 10 points, a steal, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. So I know I spent a lot of time, obviously talking about the Lakers stars. I'm supposed to. The Lakers, and especially tonight, the stars were amazing. But it's these other role players that seem to be delivering on a night-in, night-out basis, doing just enough to make sure that the Lakers find a way to obviously get the win. And that, look, they're never going to get the hype, and they shouldn't, because they're not putting up 34 points or they're not having a triple-double. But it's incredibly impactful. It's extremely impactful. It's definitely one of those areas that if the Lakers end up winning an NBA championship, and now we know just 3 games away, you should highlight what some of these role players are doing. I thought Dwight Howard was great, KCP, Danny Green, Alex Caruso, and Rajon Rondo. All those guys I thought were fantastic for the Lakers tonight. Certainly had a big time performance to help from a role player perspective. Okay, let me grab a couple quick phone calls here. Then we'll get a chance to go to Alex Caruso. Why don't we start real quick? Arnold, who's listening on the ESPN app all the way out in Jersey. Arnold, appreciate you calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Go ahead, bud. All right, we'll see if we can get Arnold back. Chonos in Studio City, thank you for calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Go ahead, Chonos.
Hi, Alan.
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I mean, you got to be feeling good after that game.
Yeah, you have to. He's like it's been 10 years since the last Laker game one that the Lakers won the finals game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I want to talk about how the Lakers were beating them by. They were up by 20 at one point.
32.
And,
they had a 32. They had a 32-point lead. They had a big-time lead.
I was about to turn off my TV it's a done deal. Mm-hmm. And the Heat were about to come up.
Well, let me Chonos, let me jump in here, and I appreciate you calling in. I wouldn't worry too much about that. If there's any Laker fans out there that thought in that fourth quarter where the Miami Heat outscored the Lakers by 8, and you want to call in and say, we got some issues here, Al. They were up 32 and it went all the way down, maybe even got down to 15 or 13 or something along those lines. Don't be too concerned about that. Really don't. I mean, this is just one of those games. Sometimes when teams go up by so much like the Lakers did, they were dominating this game. Things like that are going to happen. What I will tell you is, what I will mention is the fact that, and I think this is going to be the theme, listening to LeBron and Anthony Davis for a few minutes that we got a chance to listen to them, this team just sounds so incredibly focused on finishing the job. Dan in Santa Ana. Dan, thank you for calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Yeah, Alan, I just want to say 1 down, 3 more to go. And can you do me a favor?
Sure.
For the post-game, after the post-game,
okay, on
the second game, wear that Mamba jersey.
Okay.
And I'm going to call all Laker Nation, wear the Mamba jersey, just to represent, think about Kobe, and let's get that second game.
All right, done. You got it, Dan. Done. Lakers, I love that. And, this is I think, the mentality from everybody right now. 1 down, 3 to go. Not only is the actual team all business right now, I feel like Laker fans are all business. Okay, here's somebody that's all business all the time. It's Alex Caruso. Let's get Alex Caruso's thoughts, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet here on the Lakers' big-time win. And look, I hope we're giving and we're paying attention to some of these Lakers role players. Caruso, I thought, was solid in those 22 minutes. Here's Alex Caruso.
All right, Alex Caruso, kind enough to join us on the postgame show. AC, a pretty emphatic Game 1 victory. I wondered what you thought stood out about this one tonight as you guys were able to handle Miami after that fast start from the Heat.
Yeah, I think we just we came out and started being the aggressors. I think on offense we started attacking the paint a little more, put our head down, get to the rim, and that in turn opened up the shooters for us on the backside. And then defensively we just kind of climbed up into them a little bit and tried to be, influence them to do what we wanted to do instead of letting them come off screens how they like or run into offense how they like. And it was good for us.
AC, you were able to get some of your actions off of LeBron, off of Anthony Davis, something that you were able to do throughout the season. LeBron said a lot of that's just about basketball IQ. Can you describe how you play off of those 2 stars?
Yeah, I mean, it's just knowing how teams are going to guard each of them and then being ready for the actions. I worked with Miles Simon all during the year and then a little bit when we came back from quarantine on coming out of pick and rolls when guys are going to blitz LeBron when we're trying to get a small guy on him late, and I got a layup off that, got fouled off that tonight. And then just playing off the double teams with AD in the post, is something we've consistently tried to work on throughout the year. So for me, it's just about understanding how the defense is going to guard them and then reacting and being ready to do whatever I need to do.
AC, you guys did start slow in the first 2 series in the West, started better in the Western Conference Finals Game 1. Was it important to you to respond to what Miami did at the start of this game just to set a tone that you can try to take through the rest of the finals?
Yeah, for sure. Game 1 is the most important game because it's the one that was up next. For us, it's just about winning whatever's in front of us. We knew that Miami came out and went up 2-0 in all their series in the East, and we know that they were going to look to come out and win the game just to trying to set an edge and set a tone for how they're going to play. So it was important for us to come out and play Laker basketball, and I think we got to that for majority of the game tonight. There's a little slip up in the late runnings of the game, but ultimately I think we did the job we needed to do. You're just going to have to adjust and get ready for game 2.
All right, Alex, last thing for you. Still so early in the series. How fun is it to be in the NBA Finals versus just how mentally locked in you guys are? Can those things happen at the same time?
Yeah, for sure. With this team, we have fun every day. Whether it's the first game of the year or last game before All-Star break or the NBA Finals, we play for each other, and when we have success, we celebrate each other, and I think that's one of the great things about this team. So obviously, NBA Finals, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of scrutiny that comes with it, but when you got teammates in a group like we do, it's just about going out there and playing hard, and ultimately we're going to have fun.
All right, Alex, thanks for the time, man.
That's Alex Caruso right there. One of the things with these Lakers role players is they understand, okay, they're not going to get the spotlight, but they got to do those little things. And I feel like every post-game show that we're getting a chance to do, you see certain players coming through. Caruso, definitely one of those players tonight. All right, I got to read off this tweet here real quick. Chris Haynes, Miami Heat guard Goran Dragic suffered a plantar tear and will be reevaluated, league sources tell Yahoo Sports. I don't know what that means right there. I don't know, if that means he's going to miss significant time, but obviously the Miami Heat have zero margin for error, and if they're missing a starter, we know Bam Adebayo also left the game with a shoulder strain. The mountain's already big enough, so we'll see how things go over the next couple of days. Okay, I want to give a shout-out to the Wallace Firm, official personal injury law firm of the Postgame Show all season long. Have a personal relationship with Brad Wallace and his team of attorneys over at the Wallace Firm. No one else I'd recommend. Let them help you get the W. No win, no fee. 844-844-WINS, or visit wallacewins.com. I'll tell you one thing, Lakers got the W tonight, 116-98, the final score. When we come back, we'll hear from Lakers head coach Frank Vogel. We'll take more of your phone calls. Lakers up 1-0 over the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Lakers playoff basketball games here.
Yeah. LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready?
On LA's mega sports station.
Start your day with me, Keyshawn, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg, Greeny is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m.
How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Granderson?
Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night.
The all-new 710.
Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
With Pizza Hut, everyone ends up winning. And with the new Double It Box, you get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas in one box. So they can choose what they want, and you get the taste that you enjoy. Order the Double It Box for carryout or delivery at pizzahut.com. Prices, charges, and minimums vary. Delivery charge, not a tip.
All-time Lakers starting 5. Who's in your starting 5?
Am I now a part of that roster now? I could be a part of that.
Do whatever you need to do.
Okay, I have Magic, Kobe at the 2, LJ at the 3. I'm at the 4. Got to go with the most dominant ever, Shaq at the 5.
That's a pretty good starting 5 right there. Pretty good.
Ooh, that's tough. I have Magic at the 1, Kobe at the 2, LeBron at the 3. Ooh, this is tough for the 4 and 5. All right, so I'm going to put Kareem at the 4. And I'm going to put Shaq at the 5. And I'll be the 6th man.
I like that. No one's beating that 5.
Nobody's beating that 6, you know.
That's 6. There you go.
We're going to get the ball to Shaq, let him go to work, get everybody in foul trouble. Then Kareem is going to skyhook everybody to death. Then Magic's going to push the break. Then Shaq will be a little bit tired from, scoring all those points and dunking on everybody. So we'll get him the sub. I'll be the sixth man.
There you go.
And now I'm coming in the game and I'm doing pick and rolls with Magic and LeBron. And then in the fourth quarter, we get a ball to Kobe and let him close the game out.
With Pizza Hut, everyone ends up winning. And with the new Double-It Box, you get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas in one box. So they can choose what they want, and you get the taste that you enjoy. Order the Double-It Box.
With the new $10 tastemaker from Pizza Hut. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10. Choose contactless delivery or curbside pickup at pizzahut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Sponsored by Vista Paint, locally owned, manufactured, and operated, and with over 1,300 Vista Paint colors. Your perfect paint expression is at Vista Paint right now, and don't forget, visit VistaPaint.com for your discount color sampler. Miami actually won this category, 46-38. It's the only stat Lakers lost. They win 116-98. The only stat that matters. I want to get as many calls as we can in right now. You're listening to the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. All right, let's go with Josh in Irvine. Josh, thank you for calling in. Lakers win 116-98. What's your thoughts on the game, bud?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Alan. Man, I just want to say a couple things. Danny Green, thank you, Danny Green. I love seeing him, show a little bit of that Spurs Danny Green.
We needed those. We needed a couple threes.
Yeah, and then, AD, I mean, he's looking like Finals MVP at this point. I know Bron looks great, don't get me wrong, but AD put on a clinic out there, so I don't know. I mean, I'm just stoked, and, we're doing it for Kobe. We're doing it for Kobe.
Josh, appreciate you calling in, bud. I'll say this first on Danny Green. I put out a tweet right before the game saying, I got faith. I got faith Danny Green's going to hit some threes. This is actually his this is a similar predicament that he's succeeded in the past, whether with the San Antonio Spurs, the Toronto Raptors. He hits big shots in big games. He just hasn't done consistent enough, obviously, with the Lakers. So let's see if he can do it in this, obviously, in this series. And just to hit on Anthony Davis real quick, look, it's one game, but it's his first finals appearance. How comfortable did he look? 34, 9, and 5, 3 block shots. What makes you think any of this is going to change this series? I talked about it with Michael in the pregame show about this chatter with him and Bam Adebayo. Really just shouldn't be much of a chatter, but it's only one game. You still got to go out and get 3 more. The Miami Heat are just going to continue to fight, and if they go down, they're going to go down fighting. KJ in L.A. KJ, appreciate you calling in, bud. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I'm really not feeling good about the Lakers. I am feeling great about the Lakers.
Almost threw me off there, KJ. You almost threw me off.
That is an awesome thing. It's really an awesome thing. I said it was going to go in 6, but the way they're playing right now, I believe it's going to be a sweep, Alan. But one thing that we are missing, Alan, we need to put more pressure on Jenny Buss and Magic Johnson to get together and pressure the L.A. governor, California governor, and the L.A. mayor so we can have the celebration. Because all this winning, guess what? They're going to force us to still be locked down, and they can file the permit to a Staples Center protest permit so we can celebrate. Because have you noticed all the protests are getting permits approved? But
well, KJ, let me say this: 116-98, the final. It's only one game. I appreciate you calling in, by the way. Let's see what happens. I think right now, if you're a Laker fan, and I don't know what they're going to eventually do if the Lakers do win an NBA championship, but they obviously are trying to follow many different orders. Let's get to that point when we can be talking about that and figuring out what a celebration would look like. Of course, that's a great position to be in. Michael in Orange County. Michael, thank you for calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Alan, thanks for taking my call.
You got it, man.
Shout out KJ. Hey, I love his excitement. I'm all for it. Got to shout out Kobe as well. But just wanted to say, man, this is it's refreshing. I think after a couple of years not being in the playoffs and also having just this dominance, like you said, you got Anthony Davis really coming into his own. LeBron James is going to put out his numbers every single time. And this is also a specific about LeBron, and it's somewhat about the Lakers too, where it's kind of nice to see us having a little bit, not necessarily an easy road, but hey, LeBron's gotten unlucky with injuries throughout his whole career when he's gotten to the end of the finals. And this kind of feels like, at least for the Lakers, a lot like the Nets series, right? I mean, I know it's only one game, but this is pure dominance where people are going to say, oh, they had an easy route. Let's actually
who cares?
realize that this is Lakers dominance. This is Lakers dominance. Let's respect it for what it is. Who cares, right?
But Michael, but you make a good point. You make a good point there when you say it's Lakers dominance, and thank you for calling in. Look, they won 4-1. It's taken them 15 games to get to this point, so they're 12-3. And is it just me, or does this team look like they're as focused as if they're down 0-1? Or, I mean, I could see LeBron right now in the background on TV. I mean, the guy looks like they lost the game. This is what you want to see from your team. You know, as a fan, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see that your team is completely not impressed with just grabbing one win. And I don't care what people say, to be honest with you. I said this in the past. If people don't respect what these players are doing in the bubble and the journey and how tough it is, well, the hell with them. The fact that it's Lakers in Miami, I give them both a ton of credit and respect to get this far. And we'll see, obviously what team comes out on top at the end. All right, I want to go to Lakers head coach Frank Vogel. Here's Coach here's Coach's thoughts on the Lakers 1-0. Start off the series in the finals against the Miami Heat. They're up 1-0.
Frank, what did you notice after that first time out when Miami came out with the 23-10 lead? You came back without LeBron, and how that unit turned the game from that point?
Yeah, they just played with great energy and confidence. We just, we got off to a little bit of a slow start with our pick and roll coverages to start the game. But our bench has been good for us all year. Kuz and Rondo came in, and Alex, and those guys brought great energy. Helps us get some stops, get out on the break some. Doe orchestrated a few buckets for us and helped turn the game around.
Frank, you've emphasized the defense all season long, second and third quarters especially. What did you notice about the way that those units played?
The effort. Our guys are just hustling their tails off, flying around on the defensive end, and then playing effort offense as well. Really pushing the tempo on the break, attacking the paint, and crashing the boards. Just the pace of the game really picked up in those two quarters, and obviously they were the difference makers.
Frank, knowing what you know about these guys, is there any chance that there could be any complacency that comes in because of a win like this? Do you have to guard against that, or do you not even need to worry about that with them?
Well, we always guard against that, but in particular because of how much respect we have for this basketball team. Not just their starting group, but for their bench. The guys that came in towards the end there, really got them off to a great start to their season. When you look at Nunn and Olenek, Solomon Hill, was acquired later, but we have great respect for those guys, and we know that this is just one win. We're happy that we got one win, but obviously we got to keep our foot on the gas.
Coach, Anthony Davis in his postgame said KCP saved us, and he was referring to the 2 threes he hit when you guys were down early that kind of seemed to get you going. I guess zooming out of that, how big has his shooting been in these playoffs? I think he's above 40%.
Yeah, his it's been needed. It's been a great lift for us throughout this playoff run. But in particular in that first quarter, we were struggling to score a little bit. We got some clean looks early, but didn't knock them down. But I think Kenny had 10 points in the quarter. And, when you're struggling to score, for a guy to step up and make some plays like that on the offensive end, just gave us a big lift. And, with the guys that came in and subbed in, helped turn that quarter around. But, Kenny's value is on the defensive end. The tone he sets with how hard he plays defensively really is infectious to our group, and I think that carried out probably most in particular to start the third quarter, but throughout the game as well.
Allison?
All right, we'll start with Dave McGunman.
Frank, what's the key to sustaining a run? All teams go on runs, but to be able to extend it out, I think it was 75-30, the run you guys went on. Is it keeping the guys' energy up in timeouts? What allows you to make it be that long?
Our guys are just motivated, during that stretch, and obviously we didn't sustain it, into the. But It's tough to do, especially in the playoffs against good teams. And, I think the key is keeping fresh bodies in, understanding the threats that are coming at us, and that every time you go on a run like that, the other team's coach is going to change the game. So the next 10-point run has got to be different than the first 10-point run. They're going to put different guys in there. They're going to change coverages. They're going to change defensive scheme, run different action. And you have to win each segment of the game a different way. And that holds true for the series as well. We're going to have to win game 2 differently than we did game 1. So that's probably the biggest key.
All right, Kyle Goode.
A lot of guys we're talking about, and especially in the first half when you were kind of getting shooting from all over the roster, it's their first time playing in this setting. Well, not this setting, but at the finals. I know you were talking about guys sort of being champions before they're champions, but is there a part of you as a coach that's just sort of waiting to see, like, when they get in that situation, how they're going to react, and what do you make of how those guys reacted?
A little bit of me is eager to see what guys are made of, but honestly, we talked about this morning, when you have big games throughout your career, you really just you think about it all day, but once the ball's thrown up and you get between those lines, you're just playing basketball, and this is our 27th game in the bubble. Played 3 exhibition games, 8 seeding games, 15 playoff games. So this is the 27th time we went through our process. Film in the morning, walk through a couple actions. Some guys get shots, some guys go back to the room, go through the process of the pregame stuff. Ball gets thrown up, and we play and do what we've done for the last 3 months. So I think you think about it a little bit in the days leading up to it. But once you get in that moment, just play basketball.
Dan?
Frank, a lot of talk has been about LeBron trying to win a title for the 3rd time with a 3rd different team, but Danny Green is also a 3-time kind of finals guy. What is it about his skill that just fits so well when you're trying to win a championship?
Well, he's a winner. He makes winning plays on a regular basis. Provides defensive toughness, rebounding, all those types of things. Has great IQ and understanding, and he's either going to blast you from the 3-point line or carry the threat to blast you from the 3-point line, and that just helps your offense. So it's no surprise Danny's had so much team success throughout his career. He's just a winning player.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Frank Vogel right there. When we come back, more of your guys' phone calls. If you're waiting, stay patient with us. We'll try to get to all those calls. If you want to be a part of the show, 877-710-ESPN, plus LeBron James when we come back. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. I'm Alan Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Keyshawn.
You ready?
LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready? On LA's mega sports station.
Start your day with me, Keyshawn, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg, Greeny, is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m.
How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Grandison?
Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night.
The all-new 710.
Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
With Pizza Hut, everyone ends up winning. And with the new Double It Box, you get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas in one box. So they can choose what they want, and you get the taste that you enjoy. Order the Double It Box for carryout or delivery at pizzahut.com. Prices, charges, and minimums vary. Delivery charge, not a tip.
We'll be celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'll be hosting a panel discussion live on Zoom, which you can be a part of. The guests will include comedian extraordinaire and actor George Lopez, former Dodger Adrian Gonzalez. All you got to do is go to our ESPN Los Angeles Twitter page, at ESPN Los Angeles, and RSVP today. Come celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, presented by 710 ESPN.
All-time starting 5. Who you putting in that top 5?
All-time starting 5 for the Lakers. I'm going Magic at the 1, Jerry West at the 2, Kobe at the 3, myself at the 4, and Shaq at the 5. I mean, Shaq is so dominant, man. I mean, I love Kareem too, man. I can't even front on that, man. But Shaq's so dominant. It's we need a big because I'm playing the 4, so we need a big.
AD already put himself in the top 5.
Oh, AD put himself in the top 5. Well, he could take me out. Put AD in the top 5. Take me out, dude.
All-time Lakers 5. You're putting together a Lakers starting lineup. Who's in that top 5?
Ooh.
You go position by position.
Yeah. You got to go Magic at point. Kobe at 2. I'm going to go James Worthy at 3. We're going to put him at the 3. He can play 3. At the 4, that's tough. 4, we're just going to go size. Young Shaq at the 4 and
Your reaction on the Lakers line. Always get your to-go with the new $10 tastemaker from Pizza Hut. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10. Choose contactless delivery or curbside pickup at pizzahut.com. Once again, here's Alan Sliwa.
116-98, the final score. Lakers handle business against the Miami Heat. I think what's going to be interesting here these next couple of days, we'll find out. Next game's on Friday. So we'll find out more about Goran Dragic, find out more about Bam Adebayo. Obviously, if you're watching or listening to the game tonight, Jimmy Butler, who seemed fine in the second half, but right before the first half ended, he tweaked an ankle. So not a good game for the Miami Heat. Not only do they get the loss, but these are key players. Those are 3 starters I just talked about right there. We'll see how things shape up in the next 48 hours. 877-710-ESPN. Francella in L.A., thank you for calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Hey, thank you so much for taking my call.
You got it.
My second time calling in, and you got my name right.
There you go.
My day has been made. So I just wanted to talk about, the fact that this is a championship that has, strained pretty much the entire organization. Like, pandemic hit, COVID hit hard. It's all these players had to, quarantine in a bubble and away from their family. So even on the court, you can see that some of them were struggling to be able to even focus. So the fact that, the Lakers are dominating, they're showing pure dominance. This is a statement. Like, it's amazing to even see, but not even just to take shine away from Jimmy Butler. He's been bouncing around from teams, and, the fact that he found, a strong foundation within the Heat, the fact that he can move his, basketball ethic and just take the Heat to the finals. That's amazing. But either way, Lakers, I think Game 5, we're going to be the world champs.
Francel, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll run back to this as well. I'll go back to I'll give Miami credit. And like I mentioned, all these teams that were in the Orlando bubble and obviously trying to figure out a way to get this far. And, listen, I could promote the Lakers. They're 12-3 in the postseason so far. So is Miami. Miami took out the number 1 seed. They took out the Milwaukee Bucks, team with the best record in the NBA. So Miami Heat didn't just get here by accident. They have a certain style that's worked for them, and now they're facing a Lakers team where I don't know if you have an answer for Anthony Davis. Actually, I do know. You don't have an answer for Anthony Davis. You don't have an answer for LeBron James. It's just one game. But, these 2 superstars show up tonight for the Lakers. How does Miami win 4 of 7 games? Or how does Miami win now 4 of the next 6 games? It's going to be an incredible challenge. And listen, I picked the Lakers in 6. But if you got a couple of these injuries and the Lakers are playing like this, maybe I'm way off. Eric calling in from North Dakota, listening on the ESPN app. Eric, thank you for calling in, bud. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man.
You got it, man. You got it.
I got 2 points to kick around with you real quick. First off, in my opinion, I don't think the Heat will win a single game when Bam Adebayo is not on the floor.
Yeah, if he misses any time, I don't disagree with that one. He's such a big part of what they do.
Okay, I agree. And my second point, I believe if Bam Adebayo is playing and healthy, that Dwight Howard needs to be on the floor because it forces Bam to guard Dwight sometimes, and then which forces a small to guard AD, which we all know doesn't work, like Jay Crowder tonight.
Yeah, and it's funny, Eric, and I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. Lakers can do whatever they want, options-wise. I mean, if they want to go small and put Markieff Morris in, they can. If they want to go big and throw Dwight Howard in, Dwight has been so great. Dwight has been so fantastic. All those small things, those little things that he does, he's been obviously fantastic for the Lakers. All right, Can we hear from LeBron James? Don't you guys want to hear from LBJ? Here's LeBron James on the big win for the Los Angeles Lakers over the Miami Heat, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet.
LeBron, you guys went on, I think, a 75-30 run after falling down 13 early. What allows you guys to have success like that over a sustained period of time, a run like that?
Paying attention to detail. I don't think in the beginning that we were physical enough, and you have to get a feel for how hard Miami plays. And I think, they smacked us in the mouth, and we got a sense of that. And so we knew how hard we had to play if we wanted to try to make it a game. And, from that moment when it was 23-10, we started to play to our capabilities. We started flying around. We started getting defensive stops in. We started sharing the ball a lot better offensively and just got into a really good groove.
All right, Kyle Goon.
For AD, thank you. For AD, obviously his first finals game, what'd you see about his preparation? Was there any advice you gave him? And to see him perform like that, what do you feel about that?
I don't feel anything I expected out of him. Didn't need to give him no advice. We've been preparing for this moment all season. He's been preparing for this moment all season. And I'm happy to be on the same floor with him in the same uniform. And he was, once again, a force every facet of the game, both offensively and defensively.
All right, Dan?
LeBron, you've felt the buzz of the NBA Finals 9 times in your career. What was it like today with nobody there, the sound? I mean, I know you're used to bubble basketball at this point, but on this stage, what did it feel like to play a finals game?
It felt great. I've been preparing for this moment for quite a while. And fans, no fans, the inner challenge for myself and the way I prepared myself, it felt amazing to be playing in the finals once again.
Okay, Rachel Nichols.
LeBron, you've seen plenty of times over the years where if one team has a bunch of injuries, the other team kind of floats a little bit and doesn't come at them as hard. How do you make sure that you guys don't do that in game 2?
We got so much more work to do. The job is not done, and we're not satisfied with winning one game. It's that simple.
All righty, Chris. Thanks.
Ron, there was a few times where you guys got up big, and then there was a lot of celebrating going on, and I seen you sometimes you had to rein them in a little bit. What do you from your experience, what have you seen in the past that got you to the point where you felt like sometimes you just say like, okay, let's keep it on task?
The best teacher in life is experience, and I've experienced moments in my career, finals games, where you had all the momentum in the world and you felt like you had the game under control, and one play here or one play there could change the course of a series or change the course of a game. And one in particular that always rings home for me is Game 2 of the 2011 Finals in Miami versus Dallas. D. Wade hits a 3 right by that bench. I believe put us up either 13 or 17. And from that moment on, Dallas went on a hell of a run and finished it off with a Dirk Nowitzki left-hand layup to steal that game. To this day. So, I always talk about the best teacher in life is experience, so I've experienced a lot. So that's what prompted me to be who I am today, is being able to have those experiences.
Okay, we'll send it back to Will.
Right, thank you. We're going to take 3 more on my side. Tanya?
Brian, I'm wondering in a game like this, when you guys have the kind of lead that you had, are you already thinking, this is what we've done, this is what we could do better, here are some things that we're doing wrong? Were you already in that frame of mind during this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can learn so much more from a win than you can in a loss. And I can't wait to get
for tomorrow for us to get back together and watch the film and see ways we can be better and see some of the breakdowns that we had, especially in that fourth quarter, especially in that first 6 minutes of the first quarter, where we could be so much better defensively and also so much better offensively. So I can't wait. I'm extremely amped up about watching the film with our ball club tomorrow. I'm gonna watch some tonight, obviously, by myself, but looking forward to getting together as a group tomorrow.
Hey, LeBron, Mike Trudell back in LA. Teams have spent your whole career trying to keep you out of the paint. Say the same thing this season about AD. What are some of the ways that you guys are still always seemingly able to get there, still able to get to the rim and still able to finish?
Because we have great spacing and great shooters. Without KCP, without Danny Green, without Kyle Kuzma, or Markieff Morris, and a list of guys that can spread the floor, it allows myself and AD to be able to do the things that we do in the interior. And we try to mix up our game too. We try to mix it in the interior and the exterior. But when you have guys that can space the floor like we have, it allows us to do some of the things that we do in the paint.
On my side, Brad Turner.
LeBron, why is Rondo so opposed to being called playoff Rondo? And did you guys see some of that in the first half, especially?
I'm not sure. I've never called him that. We've never called him that. We only call him Doe. So that would be a Doe question. But, just having him in this moment, having him on our side, and, I think he mentioned yesterday or, whenever media day was for the finals that you never know. You don't get these moments a lot. And, it's been over a decade since he's been in the finals, and I think he's just, cherishing the moment, but also just playing the game that he loves to play, the cerebral way, the determined way, and the championship way, as he's been playing for quite a while now.
All right, that's LeBron James right there. So LBJ ends up with 25 points, 9 assists, 13 rebounds. You listen to his postgame conference right there. It sounds like literally the mood he's in almost sounds like the Lakers lost. And, you hear him saying, I can't wait to get to film session tomorrow so we could correct some of the mistakes that we have. Lakers were up 32. They win this game 116-98. That's what you want to hear from your star. So I know I've said this a few different times. I know it's just one game. I know there's still 3 more games to go. But it just feels like this Lakers team is so locked in. And as the playoffs have progressed, they've only got better. Okay, more of your phone calls when we come back. 877-710-ESPN. And then Anthony Davis. Been looking forward to hear from Anthony Davis. He has such a great performance in his first NBA Finals game. So all that coming up next. Stay right here. I'm Alan Sliwa, and this is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Lakers.
Hey, it's Keyshawn.
You ready?
LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready?
On LA's mega sports station. Start your day with me, Keyshawn, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg, Greeny is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m. How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Granderson? Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night. The all-new 710. Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
With Pizza Hut, everyone ends up winning. And with the new Double It Box, you get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas in one box. So they can choose what they want, and you get the taste that you enjoy. Order the Double It Box for carryout or delivery at pizzahut.com. Prices, charges, and minimums vary. Delivery charge, not a tip.
All-time Lakers starting 5. Who's in your starting 5?
Am I now a part of that roster now? I could be a part of that.
Do whatever you need to do.
Okay, I have Magic, Kobe at the 2, LJ at the 3. I'm at the 4. Got to go with the most dominant ever, Shaq at the 5.
That's a pretty good starting 5 right there. Pretty good.
Ooh, that's tough. I have Magic at the 1, Kobe at the 2, LeBron at the 3. Ooh, this is tough for the 4 and 5. All right, so I'm going to put Kareem at the 4. And I'm going to put Shaq at the 5. And I'll be the 6th man.
I like that. No one's beating that 5.
Nobody's beating that 6, you know.
That's 6. There you go.
We're going to get the ball to Shaq, let him go to work, get everybody in foul trouble. Then Kareem is going to skyhook everybody to death. Then Magic's going to push the break. Then Shaq will be a little bit tired from, you know, scoring all those points and dunking on everybody. So we'll get him the sub. I'll be the 6th man.
There you go.
And now I'm coming in the game and I'm doing pick and rolls with Magic and LeBron. And then in the 4th quarter, we get a ball to Kobe and let him close the game out.
With Pizza Hut, everyone ends
Tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Always get your to-go with the new $10 tastemaker from Pizza Hut. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10. Choose contactless delivery or curbside pickup at pizzahut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, a couple quick things to plug here. So starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, and Travis will get you going till 9 a.m. And then at 9, Travis Rogers and myself will do a special Lakers show, reaction show. We'll also talk, obviously, about the Dodgers. Dodgers right now with a 3-2 lead sitting in the 6th inning right now. So Dodgers trying to hold on to this lead against the Milwaukee Brewers. Quick update on Bam Adebayo. So Tim Reynolds, who writes for the Associated Press, covers the Miami Heat, says that Bam Adebayo intends to play Friday in Game 2. He'll get a lot of treatment between now and obviously the game on Friday. For those who are just tuning in right now, we did read as well that Goran Dragic, torn left plantar fascia for Goran Dragic. So we'll kind of wait to see what happens here in the next, again, 48 hours or so. So the Miami Heat have virtually no margin for error, and now they could be potentially missing at least 2 starters. We'll see what happens by the time Friday rolls around. And, you know, as you kind of start to look ahead, and the Lakers are up 1-0 right now on the Miami Heat, you know, I don't want to say Game 2 is must-win for the Miami Heat, but certainly they're going to come out and play with that type of mentality. And I got to be honest, the last thing I'm worried about right now from the Los Angeles Lakers is playing tough, whether they're focused, their own mentality, how hungry they are. They just looked great in Game 1, and, you know, so far listening to everybody in the postgame, each one of these guys sound like they're incredibly focused, and, of course, Game 2 coming up. So Anthony Davis, by the way, his first finals game, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Let's hear from AD.
Hey, Anthony, of course, your first finals game tonight, 14 of your field goal attempts came in the paint. Wondered if that had anything to do with the specific mindset, with the matchup, or with anything about the way you approach this game.
Yeah, I just want to come out with a lot of energy. You know, be aggressive on the offensive glass. You know, playing in a dunker's area. You know, when Bron and Doe and AC get in the paint, they got easy dump offs. And not settling for too many jumpers, just being able to, you know, play in the paint and just kind of dominate the paint area. That was kind of my mindset coming into the game.
Hey, Anthony, you said on the broadcast that you had a few nerves before the game, before the ball went up. I'm curious just how it felt different. It might have felt different from other postseason experiences you've had getting that first taste of the finals.
No, it was just the finals. First time I'm experiencing this, so you know, obviously you want to come out and play well, and you want to come out and win. Like I said, I've always put pressure on myself. You know, I had the same thing Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals as well. So, you know, when the ball gets tipped up, all that goes away, and it's just basketball. But everything leading up to it, you know, you're very excited. Your adrenaline is going early. You know, because you're so excited just to be here and get ready to go out there and play. So, you know, it went away early, but it was a great experience for him, a great game one. Job's not done. We have 3 more.
Allison? All right, we'll start off with Kyle Goon.
Maybe obviously been really tough. I'm sure you would love to have more of your family for your playoff run. What did it mean to you to have your dad watching you in this game and seeing your first finals and to play so well?
It means a lot. I mean, he forced my mom to do that 7-day quarantine to be here. So for him, he's always been the one to go to all my games, in the home market, not more so on the road, but he's extremely proud of me. For him to be here, essentially courtside to watch me in my first finals game means a lot to me. We just got to finish it off. I mean, he wants us to win. He wants me to be a champion. So it's a little bit more pressure, coming from him. But it was fun. It was fun seeing him courtside watching me in that first game.
All right, Kazu. I'm sorry, David Veneman.
AD, so you had 34 tonight, which is tied for third for a Laker debut in the finals. So Shaq's won, then Mike, and then you and Baylor are tied. When you hear those names, obviously Laker history is such a part of the experience of playing for the team, but when you hear those names, what do you think about it? And do you have goals of being remembered the same way they are and always be associated as a Laker?
Yeah, it's a great honor to be in that category with those guys. I mean, they've done so much for the game, Hall of Famers, and for me to, come out and perform that way and, be mentioned with those guys, especially just as a Laker, with the biggest franchise in basketball. Them guys that you watch film on, you idolize, and now to, like you say, be in that category is definitely a huge honor for me. Like I say, what makes it even more, sweeter is winning it. And so, obviously that's a great, honor, but I also want to be mentioned in categories with champions. So that's the next step. But the accolades along the way, the list I'm able to join along the way is definitely something you don't think about. It just kind of happens when you go out there and play, but it's definitely a great honor.
All right, Dan?
AD, you mentioned wanting to be aggressive. With their zone, I think a lot of times the zone people want to just shoot over them. Was that something that you guys really focus on, still finding seams and trying to get easy baskets?
Yeah, I mean, this team plays a lot of zone. They play a lot of zone in the regular season, a lot of zone in the playoffs. So, and they've been very effective. They won series with playing zone, and we knew they were going to try to run zone against us. I mean, the 2 regular season games we played, they ran zone. And we just try to find ways to exploit it and make them come out of the zone, or they stay in it, make them pay for being in the zone. But they're a team who runs zone, who knows how to play it, and it's our job to find, the gaps in the zone to be successful.
All right, that's Anthony Davis right there. So great to listen to everybody. We got a chance to hear AD, LeBron, Alex Caruso, head coach Frank Vogel, and the message seems clear. It's just one game, so don't get too excited. I'm getting excited, but obviously that's what the players and the coaching staff is saying. Look, game 2, which is coming up on Friday, this one's going to say a lot as well. If Lakers come out and have a similar type of game and blow the doors out of this Miami Heat team, and all of a sudden Miami, I got to just imagine psychologically just got to be thinking to themselves, we don't have a shot. We got no chance at beating this Lakers team, and I think that's what the focus becomes here in Game 2. If you can take control again, you put yourself in a position where I think it's just the inevitable. But one game, that doesn't mean any. It means something, but it doesn't mean that this series is over. Of course, if Miami comes back and finds a way to top the series at 1-1, then we got ourselves a series. So we've seen the Lakers in positions like this so far this postseason. One of the things that I love the most, and listen, I could sit back tonight and talk about the Lakers hitting 15 threes. They shot 93% from the free throw line. I already talked about how LeBron was 1 assist away from a triple-double. It's the first game that Anthony Davis has ever played in the finals and ends up with 34 points. I could talk about all those positives, the role players as well. But the mentality is what stands out most to me than anything else. It's the mindset that I feel like the Lakers have right now. They're not complacent. They look sound incredibly focused. And for them, it sounds like they're just getting ready to turn the page on Game 1 and start getting ready for Game 2, and that's going to come up on Friday. Couple quick updates real quick here. Tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m., Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis all the way till 9 a.m. And then myself and Travis Rogers will do a special show, a reaction Thursday where we'll obviously talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, start previewing Game 2. We'll also hit on some of this Dodgers game. And then all day tomorrow, it's local, so stay right here. Of course, Max Kellerman, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and LZ, and then, of course, the Dodger game. Laker fans, greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. You have been tuned into the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show here on 710 ESPN.
Thank you for listening to Lakers basketball tonight. What a night and what a win.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by Sincoro Tequila, official sponsor of the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers basketball. Lakers basketball.
Brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For even more savings, check out jiffylubesocial.com. Brought to you by Mobile Wash. Need a car wash? Download Mobile Wash and have one of our professionals bring the car wash to you in minutes at home or work. Experience Mobile Wash. Car wash delivered.
Brought to you in part by Dignity Health. Safety first, healing always. There's never been a better time to get the care you need. Visit dignityhealth.org/SoCal.